Hello and welcome to our FQT training video. I'm now going to show you how to work on an FQT job. So this is the interface of the platform where you will be performing the job. But before you get to this screen with instructions, you will be just asked to input your email, your PIN code and the job code. The job code you can also see here in the link. This is a small sample job, English to English. We have chosen English to English just to make it relevant for anyone, irrespective of the language that you will be working on. So before you start working on the job, please watch the training video. This link here will open the video. Then this link, read instructions, will open in a separate tab a PDF document. Please read this document entirely. It might seem long, but it contains very important information on the FQT job. There are some important remarks highlighted here. Just go through the document. If you have any questions at any point, just let us know. Read the remarks, and then you will get to a section with the error types. There are several error types. We have grouped them into categories. The very important ones. To these you must be very, very careful and make sure that you tag them in an accurate way. Then there are the less important errors. Of course, you need to pay attention to these as well. But for instance, if you spot many formatting mistakes across your job, you don't need to tag every instance, like extra spaces or missing quotation marks and so on. So you can tag just a few instances and then just leave a comment, or you can send us by email a short feedback letting us know that there is this particular issue in your job. Okay, and then you have here a separate section with translation guidelines. Well, these were the instructions given to the translators who translated the text that you will be tagging. But this information is also very useful to you, so please read this part as well. It will give you more background information on the FQT, so you will understand how the translators had to work in order to, to obtain the translations that you will be checking at this point. Okay, so now let's go back to our job. Once you have watched the video and read the PDF document, you can click this link, this checkbox, that you understand the instructions, and just click Start. And this will open the actual job. But at any point, if you need to go back to the training video or the PDF document, you have the links here. Okay, what you see here is a domain information. In this case, it's commerce. Why you have put this documentation here? This information here is because knowing the domain can be very helpful for some text, because some text can only be properly understood if you place them in the right domain. Okay, so how you work on the job? You see here on this part the source text section, and here the target text section. You will work on either source or target or both, depending on what type of errors you will spot. So let's just start with this first sentence. You read the source and then you read the target. You see if there are errors in the source or in the target. The first mistake that I can see here is a spelling mistake. Whenever it's misspelled. So what you need to do is you select the word, you click on select, and your selected word will be displayed in this box. If you want to provide a comment, you can write it here. For instance, I write the correct spelling of this term. Whenever. From this drop-down list here, I select my type of mistake. And this will be spelling. And then I click submit. Then I I need to check if there are any other errors in my sentence. And what I see is that my source is just one text, one sentence, while the target is split in two. Well, this was really not necessary. So we consider that the text integrity was not preserved, and we tag this as an error. You select the full stop, you click on select, and from the drop down list you select grammar. This is a grammar issue. What you see here is that the comment box is now highlighted in a red. This means that the comment is mandatory. You cannot move to the next sentence or add another tag unless you first provide a comment. So there are just 4 types of errors that require comments. All the other types of errors you can leave comments, but it's not compulsory. Only if you think that it's relevant, you can write a comment. But please make sure you write your comment in English so anyone can understand what you want to explain, even if they don't speak the target language. Okay, so here I need to write that it's not necessary to split the sentence. Okay, and I click submit. I see that in my first sentence there are no other errors, so I can just click next sentence to move to my next sentence. Okay, so once you submit the sentence, you will be taken to this quality control section. Here you will see the errors that you assigned, and you can make changes if you think it's necessary. You can, for instance, delete a tag, you can change it, or you can add another error. If you click on any of these buttons, you will be taken back to the sentence to make the changes that you want to make. If you decide that your tags are accurate, then you need to click on next sentence, and the second one will be displayed. Here you see the domain for the sentence is media. In the second sentence, I can see that my target has 2 extra words. The single. I select the single, click on select, and I say that this is an insertion error. And I submit. I can also notice that the quotation marks are missing. The closing quotation marks are missing in the target. So I select these opening quotation marks. I select them. I say this is formatting. And I submit my tag. And then there is one very important error in this text. Is the value. You see that the source has 1990s, while the target only has 90s, while the translator should have preserved the value. So in this case, you just need to select 90s, and then from the drop-down list, select value error, and you submit your tags. Okay, I have checked my sentences and spotted all the mistakes. Okay, and then now I can move on. Again, I am taken to the quality control part where I can see my second sentence with the 3 tags I assigned. I say that everything is okay, and I move on to the next sentence. In this third sentence, there is one omission. The source sentence has only, while this word is actually missing in the target. So I select only on my source text. I click select, and from the list, I can only select omission on the source. And I submit. Okay, I say everything is okay. in this sentence, there is just a slight change of meaning from a fan of Amazon to a loyal customer. Well, a fan, it's not quite the same thing as loyal customer, so I will select loyal customer, and from the types of errors, I will say that this is a meaning affected. No, the meaning is not completely lost, but still it's not quite the same thing. Okay, I will submit this. Then, one very important issue here is what we call the do not translate elements. Amazon. Amazon is a company name, so this should have been correctly rendered in the target with capital A. Since it was not, we need to select it and say that this is a meaning loss. Okay, for meaning loss again, you will see that the comment is mandatory, so we say that this should have been written like this with capital A. Okay, and I submit. Okay, I think this is all for this sentence. I move on. Again, on quality control, I say I'm happy with the text I assigned. I can see again my comments. I can also see them here. Okay, and I move on to the next sentence. In this sentence, I see that source says new bag collection, while my target says a new spring collection. So spring is a complete mistranslation. I select my word and I say this is meaning loss. In the comment section here, I will need to provide the correct translation of bag in my target language. Since this is English, I will just write bag and submit. And then in the second sentence, the wording is a bit different, but the meaning is preserved. I love their golden red marquee shoulder bag. It's really the same with I really like their shoulder purse. So I'm fine right now. So I just move on to the next sentence. Okay. For instance, if I decide that okay, bag and purse are not quite the same thing, and I decide that okay, maybe I should add another tag, I just click this add error button and I'm taken back to the sentence. And then I select purse. I say okay, maybe this is a meaning affected. Okay, we are just doing this for training purposes, so that you know to see how the tool works. Okay, and I submit. Now that I'm happy with my tags, then I move on to the next sentence. Okay, in my sixth sentence, what I can see, it's a word danza, which is neither source or target language. We call these company style errors. What this means is that in the target sentence, you should not have a third language, which is neither your source or target. If the translator found a word like danza in this case and was not able to translate it, then that segment should have been rejected. In this case, the word was preserved, which is not okay for the purpose of our job. So this means that I must tag it. I select it and I tag it as a company style error. Okay, I submit. Then I can also see a small spelling mistake, many. You can see many is misspelled. It's misspelled in the source and was not corrected in the target. So I select it, I say this is spelling. For spelling mistakes, I must provide comments, meaning corrections. So I say this should have been written like this, and I submit. Okay, and I move on to the next sentence. My tags are okay. If you read the target sentence, the text doesn't sound like human translation. In fact, it is not fluent at all. It probably is an output of machine translation engine. So I need to select the entire text. I say this is not fluent at all. I tag it with a fluency tag and I submit. Okay. Again, in this sentence, we have the same issue, a third language, which is c'est la vie. C'est la vie can be easily translated. If you do just a short research, you can translate it easily, but still the translator decided to keep it in French. So we need to select it. We say this is company style. We submit, and then there is another type of mistakes, which is edit information. There shouldn't be any explanations added to the target. If you don't have this in the source, then you should not have it in the target. So here I select this parenthesis with the text, and I say this is insertion. This is inserted text. I submit, and I continue to my next sentence. In this sentence, probably the translator was not familiar with the term baby shower and just translated it like shower head for babies, which is a mistranslation. So I just need to select this segment and I say this is meaning lost. In the comments box, I need to provide the correct translation. Okay, and I submit. Moving on to the next sentence. In this sentence again, we have a do not translate element, which is a Swiss diamond. Swiss diamond is a product name, so it shouldn't have been written as a common noun. We need to select and say that this is meaning lost. The correct translation was this. The rest of the text is okay, so I can continue to my next sentence. This sentence is okay as it is. It has a different wording. Some words are changed, but the meaning is not affected at all. So we decide that this sentence has no mistake. There is nothing that we need to tag. So you just click that all is okay here. Okay, and we move on to the next sentence. Okay, here we have an instance of an untranslated term, LP. This is a long playing disk, so it should have been translated in the target language. So I select LP and I say this is untranslated. And here I need to provide the translation. Okay, submit. Now we have reached the last sentence in this job. And in this screen, you can see all the sentences and the text that you assigned. So it is very important that before you submit your job, you just check, you go through the list of sentences and the tags, and if you spot anything, maybe an error that you omitted, or something that it's not really an error and maybe you were a bit too harsh, you can make any changes at this point. But you must do this before you submit. Once the job is submitted, you cannot go back. Okay. Um, let's say that we have QC'd our job. We decide that everything is okay as it is now, um, and we click on the button to deliver. Okay, and you will receive this message that your job has been received. So at this point, your job is delivered to our server. Okay, so before we end this training video, I just want to recap some key points that you need to pay attention to when you work on the job. So please, before you start working, please make sure that you understand the definitions of all error types. If something is not clear, please let us know. But it's very important that you assign accurate tags. Make sure you see the difference between the company style error, which is a third language in your target, so neither source nor target. Company style versus untranslated. Untranslated means you have in your target text a word or several words from your source text, so not translated at all. Then omissions, that means a term from your source sentence doesn't appear at all in your target. Okay, then another very important thing to keep in mind are the do not translate elements. But these should always be treated according to your language rules. So maybe these should not be translated, as in preserved like in a source text, or maybe depending on your language, they should be transliterated. That is for you to decide. And of course, before you submit your job, please QC it. If you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you for watching this video.